Okay, we are starting with the second part, episode 2, I think, of the game. Let's wait. What is it? Wait, I didn't see it. Investigation Part 1: The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Oh, not a case, it's an investigation. Episode 2: The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. What's a speckled band?
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated
Sherlock
breath.
Holmes!
In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air.
I guess this is the POV of Wilson.
I raised my dark lantern shutter.
Wait, isn't Wilson
slowly
the one who
came
died in the
into view.
previous case? Or am I...
Sholmes was staring intently at one
Am I
particular
confusing you with
corner
someone else?
when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
What the
I
fuck is
believe
a speckled
this
band?
is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled
So a
band I
speckled
had
band
ever
is a
seen.
snake. Oh! I don't get it. 9th January, 6:37 a.m. On board the steamship Buria. Okay. Shit, anime cutscene.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what
Some
events
kind of detective.
led to this curious murder. Pray, do explain.
Wait, what?
The cabin
wait.
door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed.
Wait,
No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way.
bro,
So,
wait, I saw that red headband.
locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost
Are you
certainly would be
kidding
ink
me?
From this
No,
upset
please.
bottle.
Please be an imagination.
A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well
What
formed,
the
suggesting he was compos mentis at the time.
Bro, is this gonna be...
Most
Is this an Ace Attorney thing where, like, the person who helps you in the first case dies in the second case?
This message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
What the fuck?
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself, I would venture. Well,
What the
what
fuck?
have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
Da!
The
No one must touch
Russian.
before maritime police come. We must wait.
That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
Wait, Kusanagat is well here? What is he doing here?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Sholmes.
Oh gosh.
I presume-
Sherlock Sholmes.
You must have heard of me.
Oh god. I feel that person in the closet is me. And I'm gonna be accused of murder. Again! Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in there. Oh shit, we're fucked, man. It is, oh my god. Wait, I can't move. Oh! Oh, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now, He had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You're a true cold-blooded man. You... You found me then. Duh, we found you. I'm not doing a Russian accent. And now you pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh no. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Sato! Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? God, are you kidding me? Ha! You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Shit. Here in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please. Do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! I didn't do it, man! No. No! Bro, what the fuck? Kazuma, it was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Ha 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 ha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was gonna die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. Bro, that's small. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point? Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'll give me away. No, but if she knew what we've done, that would make her guilty by association. Best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. Anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England, together. Oh god, this is a case attorney classic. My best friend dies in the second case, and now we're fucked. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer! No, I'm not a murderer. Yeah, you said that. You said before. You said you admit everything about your crime. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san? Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Kazuma's dead. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. You think I did it? Do you think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit could only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? Please let me investigate. I'll prove my innocence. This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge even despite the circumstances? Please, Suzato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we should learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. About the incident. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. No, I'm innocent. Even though I'm in like the worst position ever. Please, whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but he would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewmen forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside... there was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. It's all very hard to believe for me too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Oh no, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Wait, huh? Did somebody hit me on the head? Or was it from the getting thrown in the suitcase? Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Okay, did they have like a chat before? Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me into England with you? Bro, he's not telling me something and now he dies. It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. Oh, it's not like that anymore. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then... Bro, why are you not telling me? Then what? Nothing. Forget it. And now you just up and die and I can never know what you were gonna tell me. Kazuma-sama he's always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then, it was darker than I've ever seen it before. Sato-san, I'm sorry that we kept a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. That sheep. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. Last night. Oh my god. You're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there just like I always did. After that I fell asleep. Well, yes. Why did you fall asleep while in a murder happening? So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth. If only I had woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Did I get hit or something? Is something wrong? Oh, I'm not. No, it's. Please forget it. Sato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Why do we always get into these situations? Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did it have to happen? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands tied while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? Let's investigate. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! Oh, pfft. Oh, bro, we got smacked. What the? That was a Suzato takedown. Suzato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... I need to investigate first. Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. Expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. Do I have anything? Kazuma would stick this over the doors of the wardrobe for me. It says, keep out in Japanese, though I'm not sure the Russian crew can actually read it. Oh. I have to get Suzato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves that I'm not guilty of this awful crime. This?
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe... Oh! If it's stuck on the wardrobe, how could Ryunosuke do it? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always puts it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. But if they wrote it in Japanese, how the Russian crew would have ever known, you know? I don't know. Naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before you opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Although this is very weird, okay, being upside down. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Please believe me? Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Sudato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry, no. Oh god. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think, I am a magician? For now, I suggest that you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Sudato-san. Please, don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. And I'll clear all your doubts. Oh! I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Okay. This is a new one. Can we converse? No. Can I present my university collar pin? Oh no, shit, I pressed it. I always press A for some reason. Suzato-san, about this. I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, but we don't have time to waste on anything else. We must find clues. She looks serious. Really quite deadly serious. Let's present this. Okay, it's the same thing. Let's just examine. Okay, this bitch is here. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it's going, the investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information though. I have to keep trying. So last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Okay, he's not gonna answer. Yeah, of course not. Now back to the corner room and make silent. I say no more to you. Suspicious. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Sudato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Oh, you're giving me a tutorial? I don't need that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Yeah, we have only been doing trials. Okay, the wardrobe that I was stuck in. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? My back would die if I stay in that cupboard. I think living isn't quite the right description. I was dying. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Oh, brother, why are we so useless sometimes? Let's see what's over here. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Oh my god, are we really? Bro, he dead, man. Alright, I won't read it. Bro, if there's some information in the diary, I'm gonna kill you, Suzato. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Okay, we got this. Let's look at this trunk that we came in. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Man, I must be a contortionist or something. Because what the fuck, how did they fit in there? Ah yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. But in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Suzato takedown. Okay. Now we look at the crime body tape. Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. What does that even mean? Is it upside down? Oh. No, it's not. I thought it was some god. Wait, I need to look at it properly. I'm gonna turn my upside down god. Okay, it's not. Nothing's written upside down. And I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama, no doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Okay. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of a brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Now what's over here? The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although it's fallen over as well. Why they're all fallen over this way? It's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, everything mowed down at once. I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning SWAT training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps... It was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books in the statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? They all toppled over one side. Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Wait, no! What if you're tampering with evidence? Why are we even doing... what's over here? These are the rules of passage from traveler aboard the SS Buria. It's essential a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Okay, but why does Kazuma carry his sword everywhere? What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Oh, oh no. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Let's go this way. Kazuma's. Wait, what the fuck is this? A bone? No, it looks like a boomerang. What the fuck is this? That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Sudato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Why the fuck is it on the floor then? Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. This sword. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that just shows how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Oh, what is this written over here? Is there... Seiji, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stored away on the ship? Oh god. Ah man, there's a difference between stowing away and fucking murdering someone, okay? Now you're gonna bring that up? Are you? I can't win. Okay, I think we've looked around. Is there anything else to look around? I don't think so. Let us converse. No, let me. Is there something to present?
Nope.
Examine the door. When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the oh my god, door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. No wonder everyone suspects me. And she glares at me like that. I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and a thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. The door of this cabin and this frame are made of metal and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. Yeah. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Okay, can I talk to you, guy? I don't know what to do. Wait, let me see if I can move to another area. I am in handcuffs and under house arrest by the crew, not to mention Sato-san's constant glares. I think it's fair to say that I'm stuck in this cabin, for the time being at least. I should focus on investigating here to see what I can find out. If there's something else to examine, I am not able to. I don't get it. I'm gonna look around. Okay, let's look at this table. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and the cutlery are all over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. No. Oh no. Oh shit. This is... Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Oh my god, large household. Oh my god, I'm actually losing my mind. Large households often have a bell cord like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. I think the trauma of Kazuma dying has made me have an inability to speak anymore. Really, that sounds like almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. My god, shit. Racism! I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to, you're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true, that's what I was thinking as well. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose maybe that's it. What? I almost had a heart attack. Jesus, bro. Sherlock Holmes? What the fuck is... Oh, sorry. Sherlock Holmes? Oh, bro, oh my god. Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... What the fuck is he even doing? You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is and how he got in here, but he looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall. Now, Ho-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And he's investigating Kazuma's deck. Not deck. I almost said another word. Or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Suzato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? Okay, let's talk. Examine the guy on the desk. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Shh! Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? I see. Fascinating. Sorry, what do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. Is he like a weirdo? You have been in What? Have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. What? What the fuck? Sorry? What? And now, whilst adventuring towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that? No, I think she meant something else. It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. What? Bro, I'm Japanese. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. What? And when the bare-born occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. No words, no words. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. You see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. Daughter, please don't believe him. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. I'm Japanese, man. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruto-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Hiya! Bro, I'm getting abused and confused as well. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. It's ridiculous. Can you turn me upside right? How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? No! Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? But I am not a revolutionary Russian who was in Afghanistan for some reason. Yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles. You see, I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I am right. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. Ah, how remiss of me. No, what? How remiss of me. Oh my god, I'm actually losing my mind. I'm none other than the greatest detective of the century known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes? The very same. The inimitable. Could you have given a different word? Actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Suzato-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruto-san! Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? You must ask him what he's deduced. He would have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Okay, I'ma converse with you. Actually, let me present something to you. Mr. Sholmes, what do you make of this? Shush! Quiet! When I'm ruminating in the course of my deductions, nothing must disturb my mind. Oh, so sorry. Ah, an Indian curry perhaps. What's he ruminating about? The lunch menu? Okay, is he gonna be doing this as well? Okay, no, new stuff. I've never seen anything like this. Most extraordinary writing. You said the same earlier this morning, I think. Indeed, but its uncommonness is so remarkable I felt the need to say it anew. Yes, I do believe. These characters may be a crude attempt at Japanese script. Wah! Mr. Naruhodo, I don't like to be the one to tell you this, but I think Mr. Sholmes is trying to say that your handwriting is a little untidy. Is he making fun of me? Ah, great man. Let's converse. Great detective. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I'm none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. What? Please call me Sholmes. What? You can read all about my exploits in the exciting London publication. Oh yes, Grant's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have sent it from England. I have it sent from England especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories you've started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistakes, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? What? I'm just lost when he's talking. My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievement and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I have been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. I don't know any Sherlock Holmes story, so I wouldn't even know if he's referencing something. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. God! A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. We should investigate the sailor. He was being weird. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago, how can you look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction, and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Kazuma's death. Have you managed to deduce anything about his particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow! Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It is none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Ah, I see. In other words, you're the reason why I'm cuffed. I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Herlock Sholmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really, two facts, you say? Okay, what is this oh my god. More stuff? Two facts. Mrs. Sholmes, tell us please. What two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah yes, but first let us be precise. These two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. Two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was rushed in and killed. What? The victim was rushed in and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. He's Japanese. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. Okay, well, I don't know what to say this. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian? Was he? No, he was not. Initially, I considered garderobe may be the name of the killer, a certain Robert Guard, perhaps. My name is Naruhodo Yorinosuke. In interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look inside the wardrobe, here at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. No! Why is that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. No. Our school uniform, the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no clue. Susato, please use your brain. And I had no idea a detective would get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Can you give that photograph to me? Oh shit. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, thank you. Photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. The Russian word for wardrobe and purple ink, it would appear to have been written in the victim's final moments. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all of that. Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Whatever. Certainly, if it interests you. How many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian? Okay, let me see the court records and let's examine. Okay, there. Okay, so assume that he wrote it, but that was the same thing in the Ace Attorney where they said like Mia had wrote that Maya was the killer. So did somebody else write it? And is there some... Wait. Okay, I thought for a second that was a scar, but no, that's just a hand. Is there something in his hand that is clenched in this fist? Okay. RB people. Kazuma Asogi. That was 16? My god, that's young. Sherlock Sholmes, 34. Okay, let me... Your deduction just now. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Accurate was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16, but... Ah yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads: Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees. Villain Bolshevik. Is it like villain? Villain. Flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Then, since when was Kazuma Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded that he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. I look nothing like that, one who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you! Villain Bolshevik! No, how could it be me? Don't look anything like this man, just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please! And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I am a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed... oh my god. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? No. What about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Why are you believing this one article? Do you not know that the media can be controlling you, manipulating you? Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. You should always look at many articles to see, because everyone is biased and there's going to be something there's going to be some stuff which is missing. So you should always look at different articles to find out like a general truth of what is the situation. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've observed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. An article on the front page of a Russian newspaper. The headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back, cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Let's see. What is this newspaper about? Examine. Oh no, wait. Oops. I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian. No, me neither. I have no idea what any of this says. The pair of you floundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of the newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Yes, you told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale. Oh my goodness, he is fearsome. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? The solution is obvious, of course. He despises his beard to that degree he need only shave it off. I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes. I am so lost, man. Let's see, there's nothing here. No more stuff. Ooh. Like a princess. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? It's very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know, I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you've noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. About the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is of course the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It appeared that the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Kato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. Tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They requested international assistance of all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. An article on the back page of a Russian newspaper, the headline reads, Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Okay, nice. Can I present something? Let me see this. The photograph I took earlier this morning. Yes, you may keep it. I still find it amazing that I can't see something that happened so recently with my own eyes like this. An incredible invention. And a convenient one, don't you think? I never travel without my trusty device. I'm the most incurably impetuous devil, you see. I simply couldn't resist throwing it together. What? You threw it together? And I intend to throw together a new and improved model that will capture color. It's my personal monthly goal to see the invention finished before the 31st. That would be useful then. You could see that the ink Kazuma used was purple. But no, he couldn't have left that message, not in Russian. Did Kazuma know how to speak Russian? What? You were just investigating. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Oh yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. Huh. See that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah yes, but I don't think you should read these private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you have read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. If you can speak Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Sudato takedown is. Come on, Sudato! Why am I the only one who gets to get beaten down, sorry. Sudato-san, aren't you gonna throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, what on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely the diary belonging to the victim. It would appear that the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara bonsai mikado. Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Oh, what the hell is nado? Ha! But this diary is littered with complicated looking characters of which I can read precisely none. Ah ha 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 ha! So what is all that showing off about before then? Man, he's such a weirdo, Sherlock Holmes. Oh, sorry, Herlock Sholmes. Oh my god, Sholmes. I gotta remember, it's not. It's Sholmes. If you want to be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just two short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. Whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Was it a snake that fucking bit Kazuma and is dead now? A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring. The lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court record. Bro, are you telling me a snake? A snake? Really? So I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I'm still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? Simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided that I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. Huh? You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I would have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. No, not really. So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ah ha 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 ha. Sholmes is a bit crack on the head. Now he's just being plain rude. And I get out somehow, and off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? You must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can... Hiya! Oh, she broke them! Hey, yo! After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? Oh, I thought she broke the chain or something. She's gonna roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea! The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice. Kusunaga! Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh no, it's just that crewman standing by that door. Can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. What the fuck are you doing? Yes, what can I do for you? Are you also an undercover thing? Probably, right? I recognize that face, but it can't be... My god. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. He was literally there, Suzato, when you guys unveiled Kazuma. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. Perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Okay, let us present this. Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors this morning, isn't it? That's right, to try to stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian? Maybe, but Ofuda paper amulets like these are a part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. What kind of reasoning is that? Isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Let's show this. Have you seen this photograph yet, Inspector? Oh dear, are you alright, Inspector? Yes, sorry. I'm fine. I was hoping to hide my upset with a fit of coughing and spluttering. I'm usually very good at it. Trying to stifle my feelings seemed to have stifled my cough this time. It's all so sad. Asogi-san was such a promising young man. The Empire had such high hopes for him. I had such high hopes for him, even though I'm just a detective. We're all going to miss you, Kazuma. Let's show this. Can I show you this newspaper, Inspector? I'm sorry, but I can't read Russian very well. Oh no, that's alright. I know what it says. So you just wanted to point out your un-university level linguistic talents, is that it? Sorry? Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you were trying to say? No, sorry. Forget I mentioned it. Let's look at this. Kazuma's diary. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I like to know is... Don't tell me the ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. Oh? I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove these handcuffs though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? He does anything to get the truth. I'm a man of my word. I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last. Alright, let's see what we can find out. I'm gonna talk to you, Osanaga. Special orders. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I can't tell you probably. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility, huh? For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. Oh, shit. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Mr. Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. If there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Aww, we'll figure it out, Hosonaga. Speckled band be looking like a snake, okay? And if it's a snake, I don't think anything could have been done. I can't... Why is there a snake on board though? I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man. Okay, he's saying the same thing. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I could do. Thank you. You know, next time I'll do the conversation first and present stuff later. Okay, let us move. First class passageway. 9th January, 7:48 AM. SS Buria, first class cabin passageway. Phew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and it's the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on a study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there! That's another crewman keeping watch, and he looks enormous even if he's sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose... like people in handcuffs? Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. But I've thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. I was in the cupboard most of the time. Yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came on board. Ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Okay, let me examine. Look around. What is this mouse trap doing here? Ah, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Like cheese. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called. Cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. Maybe. Oh, cheese doesn't exist. Oh, there, I guess. Can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Who are you? I'll find a little snack for you later. Okay. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? Okay, what is this? This is the alarm. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this is... I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. And if you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'll be in an even worse situation. Ah, I wish everything would just stop. Just ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Man, why are we so stupid, man? Ship section. This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. It shows each deck. Look! The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. It's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but... How is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Don't even ask me about ships. I'm scared of ships. I know nothing about ships. That's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan. Yes, they are not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They have been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. Hey, I wanted a better explanation. That was not enough. What's this? That's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Stereotyping much? And nothing, no reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruto-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Sailor? Are you hiding something? Okay, there's nothing to converse about. So I'm gonna have to talk to the sailor. That's the way to the second class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. What are you going to do? Jump off the sea? Go jump off into the ocean? I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remained a mystery anyway. Let's talk to you finally. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer? That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You're a third-class ladies' maid? Oh! What's wrong with you, bro? Oh, we seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Sudato-san. I'm not a sailor. My mother gave... Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought it was Sudato. I'm not a sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman, Beef Stroganoff. Isn't that a dish? Beef Stroganoff? Am I... Phew, I'm sure that's a dish. Phew, the best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. First class cabin area. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Buria steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important person? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I've let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Sogi's currently occupied? Ah! Sudato-san, did you understand that? Sounded like da! I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Okay. Passenger in the next door cabin. Can you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next door to Mr. Sogi's? His name is Mr. Grimes by Roylott. Grimes by Roy, I cannot tell. He's very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. Huh. Why are you assuming so much, Mr. Sailor? How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is an authentic Western gentleman. The man would have no interest in a lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That's what we said about Giselle Brett as well, and turns out she was the murderer. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we have been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin. or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably since this gentleman is occupying one of the first class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Why are you protecting this guy? Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Yeah, all the time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. Did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Why are you... Her! I mean, it's not her, but whatever. Stato-san, do you understand that? It was clearly a no! I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. You're lying. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way? Bro, you're lying! I said no! Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. It's enough! I cannot say more now. Oh, it is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. I already investigated it, lol. Unless there's more stuff. Let's go to the second cabin. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Also, why did the game kind of spoil me on like... Yeah, it's a snake. By telling me a story of time of an adventure of Sherlock Holmes and Wilson. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. Sherlock Holmes, where the fuck are you? How annoying. Ah! Oh, what was that? It came from inside the cabin. A high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside! I'm about to break the door down. Where did you appear from, Mr. Sholmes? I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off the hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? And how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I... What the fuck, man? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. 9th January. SS Buria, first class, cabin number 2. Wait, you're the guy? Aren't you? Okay, you're not exactly the guy in the newspaper, but you kind of look like him. Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you! Now, you're disguised as a girl, in my opinion. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimesby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are... I'm the one and only the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the cover of the popular magazines, no less. So I assure you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. What's in that door? So might I be so bold to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk? Don't look at me. Oh? Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now! Otherwise, I'll call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimes P. Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Okay, so I think Naruhodo is the type of person where he's thinking, but he's actually saying it out loud. That's why so many times we have seen, like, even Susato is like, can hear what he's saying and she replies to it. Okay, let us converse first. Last night, Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh, I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. You're not getting anywhere here. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. First class cabin. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh, I do not want to talk. Okay. Okay, we need to talk to Sholmes. Go back. Examine. Let's examine all the places. What do you think you're doing? Ah! This is my cabin. Get out! Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! Ah. Well, pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Okay. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Okay, let's talk to you, Mr. Sholmes. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh! It would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you are spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something in the pocket. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? Truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian would react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Oh? Oh, is this like a new mechanic? Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness or Russian on account of his dubiousness? Sounds like the, what do you call, the Gojo and Geto scene where they say that, are you Gojo Satoru because you're powerful, or are you powerful because it's Gojo Satoru? Okay, it's not exactly the line, but something along the line. It sounds like that. JJK, man. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone. That's right. And Mr. Sholmes? I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. Wait, what do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. No, it's not, Sass. Are you not? Huh? And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ugh. Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Shone's great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, and now experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. The portraits are not portraits. I don't know what it's called. I'll say portraits are. They're so animated and it's so cool, and very like it gives emotion to the game. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery that is aboard the train of reasoning. Plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Ooh! The great deduction. The game is afoot. Oh, this is a new mechanic. Topic 1. Old man's identity. Conclusion. We need to find out. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously. What catches the eye in the first place? My god. So dramatic is the enormous pair of shears in your hands. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring at us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. You have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article. It would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals their true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Oh, I think it's the girl. It's the girl. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand? Oh Jesus, man. Everything's fucked up, man. It's not that. A revolutionary on the run. He doesn't even look like a villain. He just, what do you call it? Drawing to it. Oh, wait, more deduction? Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Speak and unawares people have a propensity to let the eyes stray, you see. Ah, and I assure you the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. That is very true. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of a crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It's inside the traveling case. It is time I think that the case be opened and contents laid bare. No, I refuse! What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady... Oh! Perhaps one slide enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup... I don't know what it is. Coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can be equally found in the pages of this newspaper. But there is another, more stimulating article. If you turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. A crime is that of abduction, and according to the article, the young lady's name is Nicolina. What am I saying? Nicolina. Actually, it's Nicolina. Nicolina. Oh my god, I suddenly forgot how to speak. Nicolina Pavlova. No, it's Nicolina. It's Nicolina. Sorry. Wrongdoing, kidnapping for young. No, it's bro. Sholmes, I think you're high on drugs or something. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the Russian enigma Elemensky. Wow, no words. Sato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall a discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. You said that about me as well. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Rolla does look more like this man than you do. Bro, his face is so long. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. How the fuck can it fit in that suitcase? At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small. Clearly, you'll be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? That doesn't make anything better. Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain lithness in their body. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself in the confines of that small case. I don't think a contortionist can do that as well. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in a circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs the attention, his logic that seems a little off. The idea of a little may be a little off itself, Mr. Zato. It's just one or two keywords in his deductions that seem to let him down. I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'll unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. Ah ha ha ha! Okay, at least he's self-aware. It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrist. My wrist? Eh? Ah, where are your handcuffs? Huh? How? How did... I felt that they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you're a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Okay, this is interesting. Ah! Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Old man's identity. Okay, so the dubious looking Russian, Mr. Burrell, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. Is the enormous pair of shares in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either. Which means I suppose that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a word here, Naruto-san, and see if it will help. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a hard look at Mr. Roylott. I wonder if it's really his beard that I intended to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Now leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shares for? You were on the verge of using the... Okay. Can I... Oh! The goddamn hair! You are the ballerina, Nicolina. What the... What's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No, the color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Well, yes, that's true. It's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. Okay, let me talk about the beard. It really is a very full beard, isn't it? Yes, although according to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott was about to cut it off. Still think that he looks nothing like the man pictured in the newspaper article though. The apparently merciless revolutionary villain Bolshevik. If he wasn't going to cut off his beard, presumably he was going to cut something else. Yes, we need to look at this from a fresh perspective and try to work out what. Okay, let's present.
Yes!
Golden locks. Damn. Ooh, that's so cool! You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You are not a man at all, you're a woman! And judging from the length and sheen of your hair, I mean guys can also have long hair, but I get what you're saying. One still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I'd managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. You have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals their true identity is the article about the revolutionary. No, it's the one behind. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that the old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise. Naruhodo-san, you're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room reducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. It's strictly business, not strictly wants. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let us focus on the next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true. Given that Mr. Rollot is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. There is switched to evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've neither read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Okay, let's give the article about the ballerina! The evidence that reveals the true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you have hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ugh! That's funny. Oh, I thought it would like take off her disguise if she pulls the scissors. Oh, sorry, shears. She's so pretty. Oh my god. You're right. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Yay! Easy solved. Now the second, wrongdoing. Now you can't just kidnap yourself. So you're a stowaway as well, probably. Now as for my second conclusion. You are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let the eye stray, you see. And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. Answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of the crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. What's inside the traveling case? This woman is the ballerina and she's right in front of our eyes, so clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm gonna have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. Seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. You like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it! Oh my god. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. The proof of a crime sits before her. Okay. Let's see. It's a very small case, isn't it? You can see instantly that no person could possibly fit inside there. So does that tell us that Miss Pavlova's telling glance in this direction was focused on something else? If that's true, it doesn't make sense. What do you mean? Well, if there's nothing incriminating inside this case, why did she refuse to let us look inside? Yes, I wonder why. Perhaps she had a perfectly harmless reason though. Oh, the tiara! Oh, she stole the tiara! Wow, look at this dazzling tiara. I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on. What? Me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. Well, this is it.
Yes!
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah! I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in the newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime we have committed is theft. Oh no! Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking the precious tiara with you. Ah! But there's still something in the case. I have no one, no family, no friends. I'm all alone. And I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It's a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old. She's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of a case even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glances to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. He's completely changed tact with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to changing circumstances, don't you? These books are also slanted for some reason. Maybe, but why was he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? Just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem like the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true. But still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. And there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case will be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Wait. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria. Thus, passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. There was exactly the same notice in a cabin too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh, pets are forbidden, so there's probably a pet. And from the starting screen, it says, what do you call? I forgot what it was, something with S. Oh my god, I can't even remember the word. And that's probably a snake. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe, Naruhodo-san. You'll probably be left adrift in the freezing cold ocean, or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Okay, let's check the cabin door. It's a metal door, the same as in Kazuma's cabin. Yes, and the rather slim bolt is the same as well. And if Miss Pavlova was actually glancing over the door here instead of the bookcase, that would suggest a desire to run away from this cabin. Maybe. Okay, let's see the bookshelf. Ah, it looks like these are all the same books that we have in our cabin. I suppose the steward likes to make sure passengers have plenty to read for the long voyage. And have you noticed how all the books have fallen over just like in Kazuma-sama's cabin? Almost like someone's taken a sweep at them. Maybe Miss Pavlova while she was practicing her ballet? Anyway, the point is, we don't have time to look through all these books at the moment. We couldn't even if we wanted to. They're all in Russian. Well, that's a relief. Let's try our luck elsewhere. Okay, and then what does this say? This is a charming little picture, isn't it? I don't even know what that is. What is it? Someone climbing a steep mountainside? Or descending one, it seems to me. When you've been on the flat sea for a while, maybe you start seeing hills and mountains and everything. Okay, I know. It's this.
Yes!
Rules of passage. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why I refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we have seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous items will move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside a traveling case. Ooh! Oh my god, it's the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet. They're a pretty good duo. I want to see her breakdown. Solved! Deduction complete! Elementary! Oh, that was so much fun. These two are a strange duo, but they work surprisingly well. But clearly you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grinespiro a lot. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel, which couldn't have been easy. The Buria is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could you really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman, and you intend to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So if I was just you about to cut off your own hair, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? That's probably her only. That very tinkling of a bell. Why none other than this young lady, naturally? More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself? So no one would recognize me. As a result, you have transformed yourself into that questionable old man, I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and at that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that, from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right, it is my dear friend inside, my only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to any of the crew. The secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us in as much detail as you can muster about the events of last night. Yes, alright, I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Was it something Mr. Shrome's great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. My... Are you kidding me, Sholmes? Ah, your hands are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say. Can't be helped at the moment. Can't it really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. Can't go on not knowing. I have to find out about the speckled band. Yeah, speckled band. Oh my god, that's what I was trying to remember. That Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was. So Kazuma, couldn't you have just said it in simple terms? Why does it have to be something poetic? Can I examine? Can I examine? Let me see. Don't touch, huh? I will tell you what I know about last night. But please, you must not touch my things. How do you say? Forbid it. Oh, sorry. As well you should be, young man. What vulgar manners you have. Poking around in a young lady's private belongings? Neither shall I allow it. Hypocrite. Okay, so I can't do anything. So I probably just have to talk to her. What happened last night? Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh, that's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example? Perhaps people talking? Perhaps the ship was observed in a wild tempest? Perhaps the steam engine exploded? Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that would have happened. Miss Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. You know, I'm sorry, but all I can think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me. Oh, I see. Running away. You have run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet? Yes. I am traveling to Great Britain and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life. You wish to forget? A challenging proposition. When you have the striking tiara as a reminder. But the tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. That's really sad. They're overworking their workers in a way, the dancers. You ran away to protect yourself? Also, by not giving money, you're just giving them little food and water? Yes, and the crew of the ship, they have all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin. So they're in on it, these crew people. And if that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum. Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum? I'm not sure, but... This conundrum, what are they talking about? Even I don't get it. Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Isn't it ballet? Not that being, I don't know, now that being the case. Must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. And since you just boarded last night and something happened last night, However, the SS Burya stopped by no port last night. Oh! Ah, that's it, of course! Oh wait, I didn't even realize that. How is it, pray, that you come to be aboard? Now that I think about it, the crewmen outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard. That is not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry? What was that? It's how the Russian newspaper described one of my performances. That is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens. Because I am an angel. What the fuck are you saying? Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Mr. Sholmes once said, I never can resist the touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Friend. The friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please don't tell anyone of the crew. If they found my precious, then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Ah! So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes. But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it? Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Ha! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? May well ask. I have no idea! Ah. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. Why? Really? Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance. You eat your friends. I'll remember that. No. Well, it would appear this friend identity is closely guarded secret, not to be revealed. Ah ha 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 ha! She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. What do I want to show? Is there something I want to show? Article, this speckled man. This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? I don't understand. Strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. Up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh! Miss Pavlova, has something occurred to you? Is the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No, I don't know anything. Oh. Oh? Excuse me, Mr. Rollot. Yes? What? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarter at once. Please. Alright, I will come now. What? You must leave now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Rollot. Get out! The passenger said out, or you want me to throw you out? Looks like we'll have to leave in investigating this cabin until later. What a pity. And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. Oh God, I'm losing it. As to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. To be continued. Whew. Ew, my God. These investigations are long, man. I'm done for today. My throat's dying. And I'm fucking up everything by mumbling and stuff. Oh, no, I don't want to see this.